we've got. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? I know there's a few other people trying to get on. We're reaching out to them right now, but I see several people on here. The purpose of this webinar, anyway, for what I was wanting to do here, is I just wanted to. I called it pulling the curtains back. What I wanted to do is kind of go over what we're doing as a company, as an IT company. And so I'm going to share. Let me share this real quick. Jacob, if you want to allow me to share that. There we go. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. So I've heard, many of you have heard me talk about a three-pronged approach to managing IT. And I want to just kind of go over that and talk about what we do as a company, because I think a lot of times people feel like we're kind of an anomaly or a black box. You don't know what's going on. We're saying we're doing these things, and it's kind of confusing. So I wanted to kind of we call it pulling the curtains back. We want to talk about what we do as a company, what we do as an IT company, and more or less talk about what we're doing for you, as well as what we've been doing over the years. So that's the purpose of this webinar. So what we've been doing is taking a three-pronged approach, and you notice that behind me here, I've got a trident that I bought on Amazon. It's quite the trident. It's about 8 pounds, but I want to use it as an optical illusion or a visual effect, because I think that helps me explain the three-pronged approach that we have. So over the years, IT's kind of evolved. Back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I started the company, we were just simply doing break fix. And a lot of that was just, you call me, we come fix it, we don't see you again. We don't have any software running on the machines. We weren't doing anything. It was strictly just a service-oriented, kind of like an appliance. You break it, we fix it. Well, that's evolved to what today we have is something called managed services, or MSP. So that stands for Managed Service Provider, and that just simply means that we're doing more than that. We're going to be securing your computers, your network, your infrastructure. We're going to be educating you on the things that you need to be doing, the things that we're doing for you, and we're protecting you as we go along. So that's kind of the evolution of it. As we pull the curtains back a little bit more, I want to talk about each of these three elements, the three-pronged approach that we're using. So in secure, what we're doing there is that, in my mind, it's all the software that we're running on your machines. A lot of us, or a lot of you, have heard of antivirus. Well, we've evolved past viruses a little bit. They're still out there, but a lot of the viruses evolved into, you hear malware, you got scareware, you got all kinds of different malicious activities, software that are attacking your computers. So, but we still run an advanced antivirus on your machines. We're running patch management on each of your machines and servers. And patch management is something that allows us to remotely patch Windows, Linux, Mac. And that's because Microsoft is constantly releasing updates to your computers. They're finding bugs, and as they do that, they release these updates. Now, we manage them because we don't want them just all of a sudden show up on your machine. We want to control those. We want to then release those to the machines and manage it. So that's a big process of what we're doing there. And doing that, a lot of you may see on your computers that on a regular basis, you'll see a pop-up in the bottom of your screen down there by the clock. It says, updates have been applied, or you need to reboot your machine. So what we do is we don't automatically force your machine to reboot, because if we do, well, I'm sure we would get plenty of calls from people, and we have. So we've decided to, we give you that option. And what we'll do is we'll ask you to politely reboot your machine. I think we currently will ask you like 7 times before we actually start to push that reboot on you. But those reboots need to be applied so that those patches can work. The other thing that we're doing is we're monitoring the machine. We're monitoring it for alerts. We're looking for any kind of suspicious activity on your machines. So it's alerting us. So we get those alerts. So for instance, if your hard drive gets low, we get alerted and we can clear up space before you ever even know anything about it. Also, Windows tracks all the alerts in your machines. And so we're looking at those, seeing if there's anything that we can fix. The other things that we're running, we have a technology called EDR, which stands for Endpoint Detection and Response. So we have software that's running on your machine that's looking for, lateral movement on the network. It's looking for suspicious activities. As it does that, it then shuts it down and it alerts us so that we can, in turn, fix that. The other thing that we're doing is we got another technology called MDR, which is called Managed Direct Response. So it basically means somebody is monitoring that all the time. So if there's an attack occurring in the middle of the night or the weekend or a holiday, we get alerted of that, as well as so there's someone that is watching that and is taking action on that automatically. One of the nice things about our software is that it's also integrated with each other. So one piece of software, the virus, the EDR, the MDR, they're all talking to each other. There's also AI built into that so that they're working seamlessly together instead of separate programs working independent of each other. These are working together and they're collaborating with each other. So that integration allows us to be a lot quicker, a lot faster, and to use the AI to be more proactive. The other thing we're doing is we've got email protection for you. We're running a spam filter. We're doing phishing simulations, cyber security awareness training through that, so that we're protecting you, because a lot of the compromises that we see coming in are coming in through emails, phishing emails, bad, emails that have links that are malicious. So we're shutting those down. As part of this whole system, we also have a very sophisticated ticketing system that alerts us to these events that we're taking care of. Also, the ticketing system allows you as the end user to create tickets, call our help desk, and they create the ticket, or in turn, you can create a ticket yourself. So I'm hoping most of you, if not all of you, are using our ticketing system. If you're not, please reach out to us and we will get that set up for you. In a few minutes, I'll go over kind of explain some of what who is working in our company, our help desk, and our operations and everything here in a minute, so that you can kind of understand who everybody is. The second part of our three-pronged approach is education. I think the biggest part is, in my experience over the last 25 years at running the company and 30 plus years in the IT business, is being educated. I think the more that we're educated, the more that we can be proactive, the more that the end user can better adapt to the situations around them. So what we do as a company, we have tech tips that we're sending out weekly. And if you're not on those, please let us know. We want to make sure you're getting those every week. Also, we have a newsletter that we send out once a month. We also publish a magazine, and I think we're doing that more on a quarterly basis now. We also do cybersecurity awareness training. We also are wanting to do more of the webinars, like this webinar today. I want to start doing more webinars where we just kind of maybe try to, spend time answering the questions that you may run into. I'd like to do webinars on, Microsoft 365. Some of you may want to understand, how do I create a vacation role, things like that. So I'd like to develop, as we move forward, that education on different aspects of, the day-to-day work that each of you do. Also, we have a book that we're publishing that will be released on March 6th, where we're talking about the AI and the threats that the cyber criminals and the cyber threats they're using AI now. So that's going to be a big push over the next while as the AI is really advancing what cyber criminals can do and how fast they can operate. It allowed them to operate so much faster that we're having to use AI as well to combat that. The third part of our three-pronged approach is protect. And what I define that to be is is that we're backing up your servers. We also can back up your workstation. And we're not backing up every workstation, but those that need to be backed up, we're backing up. But our backups are very sophisticated. We use a very advanced backup system. It's called Datto, and I've really learned to love this backup system. I've used a lot of different backup systems. I've used, gosh, I remember using a tape backup system that you back up to tape, magnetic tape. And boy, we have really come a long way since then. But the backup system we use, it does a full backup of your system, and it also does we back up every hour on the hour, 7 days a week on your server, and then but those very sophisticated backup system in that it allows us to restore at any point in time. We're not just backing up your data either; we're backing up your entire operating system. What's nice about that is if if for some reason the server just completely died, or if it was compromised, or whatever the case may be, we can have you back up in a very quickly and very fast. Because a lot of times, if you have a catastrophe, it's not just your data; it's your programs, your operating system, your our domain, which allows us to log in, things like that. So there's a lot of things that go into what your server's doing for you. So our whole goal is to have a continuous, we want business continuity. We want you to be able to continue to run without being down. So the other thing that we're backing up is we're backing up your email. We're backing up Microsoft 365. We're backing up OneDrive, SharePoint, your email, your calendar, all the things that are associated with Microsoft 365. So that allows us to, restore anything that gets lost, or if we need to bring it back. Microsoft, a lot of people think because it's in the cloud, it's backed up. If you read their license agreement, you'll find that they highly recommend a third-party backup, and they say we do our best ability to get things back. There's no guarantee that they can or will. So that's the reason that we do that. And kind of wrapping that up, I kind of like to use this analogy of a football game. A lot of times what we do, when you say, you've got a football team playing, two teams are playing each other. You've got to have a really good offense, and you got to have a good defense, and you got to have a good coaching staff. So it's not just one, you can be a great offense, but if your defense sucks, you're not going to, you're going to lose the game. So that's why we got to be looking at all aspects of your network, everything that's going on with your, what's going on there. Now, the other thing that I like to, in this football analogy is, every once in a while you have that anomaly, the what if scenario where somebody jumps out of the stadium and streaks across the field, right? It's like, okay, we didn't expect that, or, plane crashes in the plane, all kinds of things you think of. That's why we have the backup systems that we do. That's why we look at all aspects of your disaster recovery plan and things like that, because there are things that happen that you would have never even thought of. I could tell you story after story of things that, okay, I didn't think that would ever happen, and it has. That may make it for a fun webinar sometimes, talk about all the experiences that we've gone through. Now, in kind of wrapping all this up together, I wanted to go over what we're doing as a NPI for you. So we have several different moving parts in our company. Start with, we have Camille. Camille, you turn on your camera. So I just want to kind of present our team, talk about what we're doing. So Camille Heiner, she is the operations manager. She runs the day-to-day operations of the company. And so when there's issues going on, she's the one you want to get with. She is making sure that everything is taking place and running. We also have our help desk coordinator, who is Neil. Neil, do you have your camera on?
Hello.
There he is. All right. Neil is running our help desk. And on our help desk, we have several people, but he's the one coordinating that and making sure that everything is going smoothly. So, like I say, if you're not using our ticketing system, we want to make sure you are. So he'll be a big part of that, making sure. And so if we want to get that, just let us know, and then I'll have him or Camille reach out to you. But our ticketing system is quite impressive. I've really been impressed what we can do with that. We also have Justin McKenzie, who's our account manager on here. Justin's goal is to interact with each of you. Like Scott, I see you on here. He would reach out to you, be your kind of your liaison between, errands you have, billing problems, things that are not getting done, things that you're worried about. He would then convey that back to Camille or myself, and we'll get that corrected. A lot of times
I've met with most people you hear, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I think most everybody knows Justin. My goal is as we grow that it's been difficult for me to meet with each of you, but I want to make sure that you're still getting that personal care, personal touch as far as getting your issues and concerns resolved. We also have Newman, Sean Newman. He likes to go by Newman. He's on here, and he's over my security and works on protecting us from that point. I know that he had a few things that he wanted to go over, so maybe we'll stop there for a minute and just maybe have Newman, if you want to take some time and we'll take a few minutes and go over some security things. And the security is a big part of what we do, only because it's, the cyber threats and the criminals out there are constantly battling against this. So we're spending a lot of time, and all of our software and tools are protecting you, but also there's a lot of things that we don't even know about that we're learning. So Newman, you want to take a few minutes?
So I just wanted to kind of cover what we do internally for security, because it's kind of an unseen mechanism in the whole machinery that goes on, that when you go to your system and you're being monitored and everything, it's really the ultimate thing of how you can sleep at night. And with that, I want to talk a little bit about cyber attacks, because they're increasing like crazy. And I don't know if you know, but 43% of cyber attacks are targeted to small and medium businesses, which we are all very well aware of that. But 60% of those businesses close within 6 months of an attack, which means that you don't come out of it very well. So that's why we've taken to providing security tools in this whole suite of solutions as our security stack. We call it Security Stack of 2025. And we review this security stack every year so that you're getting the latest and greatest protection and alerting and monitoring that we can provide. A lot of companies don't do that. We pride on it because we don't want to just run with one system and then find out that they're not the greatest anymore. So we do that for a reason, and it's because of you guys. Now, the other thing is compliancy. We actually provide a security practice within our company that we roll down to our customers as well. That security practice involves a lot of policies, procedures, and documentation of the network and so forth. Some of the regulations that we actually can help secure is like HIPAA, high tech for the medical. We can map policies to IRS, cybersecurity structure, CMMC, FARs, even cyber insurance compliancy. A lot of people are starting to get cyber insurance, but they're not meeting the cyber insurance requirements. That's where we can actually help. And not only that, but provide your insurance company monthly or quarterly with the report. This product that we're using is amazing. It's a little additional cost, but the money it saves you on your premiums is beneficial. Now, why am I talking about the compliancy and all that? Because if you get hacked, one of the first things that happen is you start thinking about litigation. Now, because you're in Utah, we have what's called a Safe Harbor Act that's been enacted for Utah companies, where if they get hacked and there's a breach and things are stolen, if you can prove that you were monitoring, securing, doing everything possible, monitoring the logs, so forth, you're actually protected by that law that you can't be litigated against. This is pretty important for a lot of companies out there, even small to medium, because like I said, 60% fail on an attack. Okay. One of the other things that we are doing that Jay talked about is phishing monitoring. Now, with that, we can actually catch phishing using AI. And it also provides training and capabilities. Now, with that, we also have we actually get alerted at night when the hackers are going to town, and we'll know if somebody logs in from Denmark to your 365. Now, it's always good to kind of give us a heads up if you're going on vacation, so we don't lock you out because we can't get a hold of you because you're, you know, cruising the Nile in Egypt. So, you know, we want to make sure that you can get to your email and do business even if you are going. Now, Jay, you hit upon the EDR and the MDR software. EDR is our endpoint protection, which is, again, the antivirus. And the MDR is more like a next-gen AI type antivirus. It looks for patterns and behaviors, which a lot of people have different behaviors, so it's very busy in what it's doing. Now, I do pose a question to you guys, and that is, how many of you guys have antivirus on your phones? What I would almost think is not a lot, because you think your phones are not going to be hacked. A new threat that's actually gone on in the last 4 months is hackers are going through airports and things like that and using Wi-Fi. If you have Wi-Fi set in ad hoc mode, they can actually edit your phone, go in, modify things, brick your phone, lock you out, and steal the data all at the same time. It's crazy what's going on, but what network providers is doing is we are actually staying ahead of that and trying to alert people. So the SOC, as I call it, this is something new that literally gives us immediate response. So no longer is anybody reactive at this company. We're actually proactive. We are actually calling you guys when things are happening. So don't be shocked when you get a phone call from Newman and think it's Guido, because it's not. It's just me trying to alert you instead of saying, hey, I need $20. Can you Venmo? No, I'm trying to alert you of a security approach. I'll never sell anything to you unless you really, need something later on. But the one thing that we believe at network providers is cybersecurity should be proactive, and that's why we're doing this. So as a company, we want to make sure that you're secure, compliant, and resilient with everything that's going on in this. And ultimately, what I would like to do is, because if you haven't had me on site to do a cyber awareness training for all of your company, I would suggest contacting me, 801-702-3700, and set up an appointment for me to come and teach all about cybersecurity and really ultimately scare the living tar out of the employees. Because if I'm scaring them, they're going to learn and memorize what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And we do this training all the time, and we actually update it every 6 months with the latest threats. So that's it, Jay. I just wanted to kind of throw the security out there and let you know where we stand. You can mute me now, or I'll take the whole microphone and start doing Chris Farley. So,
Jay, your audio's gone now.
all right, 3, 2, 1, Chris Farley. You just shut your yapper, and you better take Jay's advice.
Still not gone yet. But while he's working on getting that back, again, one of our big purposes and pushes this year is to make sure that we're connecting with our clients, that you know who we are on our side, that you understand what our team is there for, that we're transparent in how we can help you, and that we do everything that we can proactively so we don't have to be as reactive to situations. We want to make sure that we're growing with you and helping you and your business go in the direction that you want it to go. So I don't know if we didn't introduce a few people, so while Jay's coming back, I'll just quickly introduce. We have one of our level 3 techs here with us, Dana. Some of you may work with him, so there's Dana. And we also have it says Jay Hill, but this is actually Jacob Oakes, who's our marketing admin. So
Thank you.
he's here working with us, getting some of our marketing stuff going. So if you see any emails from him, that's our marketing. So
Jay's back.
Note to myself, don't screw with it once it's running. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for being here. I know I wanted to start doing these once a month and also once a quarter, doing some different things just to be kind of an educational series. So if any of you have some things that you want to discuss, as I mentioned, like Outlook has a vacation rule. So maybe you say like, yeah, that'd be great. I just don't know how to use that. So, either put in a chat or even talk to us, let your tech know or let any of us know, and we'll start putting some training together, either in person or webinars. And I just think education is such a big part of everything we do. And so,
yeah. Jay, there is a question from the chat. What is the new thing called Red in my 360? That's from Scott.
read in my 360. 365 is we're starting to see a lot of stuff with Copilot, and we're starting to try to, Newman, you're muted. It's probably something to do with the Copilot or something.
It is Copilot.
So I know Copilot is able to do some things where it can use some AI to automatically go through your emails, write things for you. The problem, it's about $30 a month for Copilot. So I think a lot of us have not, jumped onto that just yet. I do know a lot of people are using Chat GPT to do things, and so that's like $20 a month. So that allows us.
And a caveat is before you use Copilot, you should actually get with us to do a data classification where we secure the data that you don't want Copilot to actually go and index and put out for everybody on the internet. So before you turn that on and do things, it's a good idea to talk to us and let us help you turn it on by showing where your data is, be it hot, medium, or cold, so that you're not, publishing that data out through Copilot to all AI engines.
Yeah, Scott put in the chat just in there. So let's get Camille.
that's I was say that's where I come in, and actually Dana. So we will get that taken care of. I was looking it up too, and it kind of is like a AI assistant. So it goes through and can join meetings and stuff and so like it could join this webinar, take notes of it, and then transcribe it and give you the recording and the summary of what the meeting was. So that's what it's one of those note taker kind of things. But if you don't want it in there, we can get it out. So I will create a ticket right now for Dana. So thank you for doing that. And now we have an example in action.
I think one of the things that we'll also be addressing as we move forward next couple of months is especially where I've got a book I'm bringing out about AI, is there's a lot of cool things that the AI can do for us, but also some scary things that it can do for us. I've seen some AI that can simulate video. If you take a video, if I get a video of you, like in this webinar, if we were to record this, there's video that can take some AI that can take that video and it can make it look just like you, doing the same hand motions and everything. You can't even tell. So I think we're seeing some scary stuff with the AI. I think it's really fascinating. I'm excited about it, but there's some things that make us a little, scared for sure. We also see some audio engines. but we're seeing a lot. We're starting to see now AI where it can call you and I mean, it sit and talk to you, and you wouldn't even know it's an AI bot. So, but I think it's just an evolution of where we're going with things. So, but we'll be addressing that in the future here, where we'll have some webinars and we'll talk about that. I think that's a really fascinating subject that we'll pursue. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any other questions right now. One of the things that I wanted to kind of wrap up with is, if anyone, as you're interacting with other businesses or as business owners or employers or whatever, if you run into people that are, wanting to know more about IT, we have here at NPI. So if you have anyone that's interested in IT, please refer us to them. And like I say, we want to make sure that we, reward you for that. So, let us know and we will, keep you in the loop for sure. So that's one of the things that, as a company, we can grow, but organically through referrals. But I'm hoping this webinar has been informational anyway. It's our first as we move forward into this new year. So, that's, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. And if we don't have any other questions, we'll go ahead and end our webinar. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Thanks, guys.